In the 1940s, researchers found that intermittent fasting, a type of calorie restriction, which is CR, appeared to increase the lifespan of laboratory animals, often mice. This finding led to the development of intermittent fasting as a dietary strategy. The term intermittent fasting, which is IF, refers to a class of calorie-restricted (CR) diets where the dieters alternate between fasting, which is often understood to mean intake of just water or no calories liquid, and non-fasting periods. Instead of meal planning, food lists, recipes, calories monitoring, or other elements common to most weight reduction programs, IF is centered on time intervals, a 2-day cycle that involves 24 hours of fasting and 24 hours of food appears to be one popular type of IF. Alternate day fasting, which is ADF, every other day fasting, which is EOD, or every other day feeding, which is EODF, are all terms for this practice.
According to website Johns Hopkins Medicine, intermittent fasting diet is an eating plan that switches between fasting and eating on a regular schedule. Many diets focus on what to eat, but intermittent fasting is all about when you eat. With intermittent fasting, you only eat during a specific time. Here are 5 of the most popular eating patterns for adding intermittent fasting diet. Firstly, time-restricted eating. Secondly, 5/2 diet. Thirdly, eat stop eat. Next, alternative day fasting. And lastly, warrior diet.
High consumption of fat causes obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and possibly cancer. If the food is usually high in fat, the lower fat version may still be a high-fat food. For example, a lower-fat mayonnaise may contain 13% less fat than the standard version, but it is still high in fat. Excess protein consumed is usually stored as fat, while the surplus of amino acid is excreted. This can lead to weight gain over time, especially if you consume too many calories while trying to increase your protein intake. High carbs diet from sugary and starchy sources have been shown to lead to increased weight gain. Excessive weight gain can raise the occurrence of diabetes.
Now, I'm going to explain about supporting scientific evidence of intermittent fasting, whether it is effective or ineffective. Number 1 is weight loss. So, another systematic review of clinical trials was performed by Simon et al. To assess the efficacy of intermittent energy restriction and compare the psychological benefits of intermittent energy restriction to the proven benefits of continuous energy restriction. So this review assessed 40 scientific studies of subjects who underwent intermittent energy restriction, 12 of which directly compared intermittent energy restriction to continuous energy restriction. Subjects consisted of any age and body mass index, and at least one body mass parameter had to be accessed both prior to and upon completion of energy restriction. The results of the study provided clear evidence that intermittent fasting is an effective weight loss mechanism, with the most common weight loss of 3 to 5 kilograms after 10 weeks of participation.
Okay, we continue with number 2, which is burning fat. The way intermittent fasting works by extending the time it takes for your body to finish burning the calories from your last meal and start burning fat. According to recent study, intermittent fasting to burn belly fat may offer some short advantage and can result in weight loss along with consuming fewer calories overall. And intermittent fasting also is comparable to a standard calorie diet for burning fat. Okay, the last evidence is healthcare. Intermittent fasting may reduce inflammation, manage blood sugar and cholesterol levels. Being physically active and losing weight will reduce your risk of developing obesity-related illness, including diabetes. There is evidence that intermittent fasting helps lower blood glucose and level in those at risk of diabetes, according to a review article published in the journal Translational Research in 2014. According to the scientists, alternative or intermittent fasting promise for promoting weight loss, lowering the chance of developing their diabetes.
Thank you, Syamimi and Syamsul.
For the next session, a three-link group from social media. They promote intermittent fasting, which are from TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Let's go! John Schiffer, also known as M&M John on TikTok, is the influencer that promotes that diet. In here, John shares about how intermittent fasting is all about, and he also shares 4 tips
like water,
on
sparkling
starting
water with lemon,
intermittent fasting and more.
Thank you, Sophia. Now I would like to tell you about the other media social that has promoted the intermittent fasting diet. Firstly is the Instagram. The username is myfasting.diet. The Instagram feed is mostly about the healthy diet and also the quiz and what you should do if you having this diet. So if you want to know more about it, you can check this out and perhaps you will try the diet. Social media that promoted this diet is Facebook. The username is Keto Intermittent Fasting Diet for the Weight Loss Lifestyle. The posting mostly about the healthy recipes and also tips on how you will lose your weight during this IF diet. So if you guys want to know more about the details, you can check this Facebook. That's all for me. Thank you.
What you can do with intermittent fasting, firstly, is to transition slowly. The tips that can help you to transition into this intermittent fasting is by not doing it every day, but every week try to add another day until you are able to stick with it almost every day. And secondly is to stay hydrated. How do you know that you are well hydrated? Is when you should urinate at least 4 times per day and your urine color should be clear instead of yellow. The don't while intermittent fasting, firstly is to don't decrease your calorie intake below what your body needs. This is because by entering into calorie deficit for too long can give some negative health consequences and you can also lose muscle mass. Secondly is you don't work out too much, but if you wanted to go for more, make sure that you are not hours away from your next meal. For example, when you go to the gym at 7 AM and not break your fast until 4 PM.
What should you eat during intermittent fasting? The first one is fiber-rich complex carbs like whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. Second, protein-rich foods like fish, tofu, and eggs. Lastly, water. Staying hydrated is key to maintaining health. Next, there are certain foods you should avoid. First, foods high in sugar. Sugar is one of the worst things because it will make you feel more tired. Second, foods high in unhealthy fats like processed meats. Lastly, foods high in sodium. Foods like processed meats, fast food are typically high in sodium.